Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are across the globe. Look, you can see right my I'll have to change the settings. Well, you're with me on the sofa with Esther. Let me just change my settings, ladies and gents, because I look a bit ethereal there. Okay.
I think you look gorgeous.
Yeah, but it's showing me with oh, okay. Actually being green, but it doesn't, you can't see the green. Never mind. I've taken it on the background of I've taken off the background of the background. Anyway, you ladies and gents, welcome to On the Sofa with Esther. And with me today, the show is about the sons and daughters of legends, sons and daughters of legends. So I have the privilege of talking to Gemini Burke at this moment in time. And then very shortly, I will be talking to Roy Hamilton Jr., the son of Roy Hamilton. And I've just literally discovered this guy and his voice. I mean, he was the one that influenced people like Elvis Presley and Jackie Wilson. So we got a lot on the show today, and also very soon I'm going to be speaking to Beth Griffith-Manley. She's the daughter of Johnny Griffith from the Funk Brothers, and also hopefully Heather Hayes, the daughter of Isaac Hayes. So this is Gemini Burke. Welcome, Gemini.
Hey, what's happening? Sound like you got a great line up there. That's
I
awesome.
haven't. Thank you for the connection to Heather. Thank you so much. But anyway, without further ado, and I'm quite liking the green jumper with the polka dots. You can't see it. But anyway, I don't know. I feel like a ghost at the moment because this is not what I'm wearing at all. So I got to shift my settings a bit. But as I say, the show must go on. But Gemini, in a nutshell, in a peanut shell or a crab shell, who is Gemini Burke?
Wow, good question. Let me answer it as quick and as with a little bit as possible. I am the bloodline son of King of Soul, Solomon Burke. The song that everybody does, "Cry to Me," the Blues Brothers song, "Everybody Needs Somebody," and the what people call shall I say, the originator of soul, my father.
Yes.
Burke, King Solomon Burke.
Excellent. And it's really interesting. We have Roy waiting in the in the bylines. Roy, can you give us about 15 minutes, my dear? I'll pop back on then. I'm just running a little late. But if you give me 15 minutes, pop back on because I'd like to talk to both you and Gemini together as well as individually. So if you give me 15 minutes, pop back on, then we'll have you back in the broadcast studio. Blessings. Thank you so much. Joe Tex is on. Wow.
Might as well click him off, see what he's doing.
I wasn't breathing. Oh, wow.
Bring
No.
Standing out here in the rain in the ATL, trying to get it done. But I had to come on.
What's up, baby? Good to see you.
Look at this. I've been trying to get you for ages, Joe. I'm not adequately prepared, but I'm gonna just get something out of you today because I've got you. You're not going any place, man.
You better get Joe while you can, man. Joe be moving, man. Joe's a hustler. Get it done.
It's good to see you all. Thanks for. I'm glad my brother hit me up about tuning in to the show and just coming on and saying hello to everyone. Definitely appreciate it.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I'm going to ask you the same question that I've just asked Gemini. You know, who is Joe Tex 2 in a nutshell, in a peanut shell, or a coconut shell?
One of those shells, pecan shell. I'm a Louisiana guy. Joe Tex 2 is just a down to earth Louisiana, born and raised in Baton Rouge, and just grew up around music. Thankfully, had the upbringing with my dad and had the opportunity to perform with him, open up for him on shows, growing up with my band, and just him helping me groom myself for the music industry and in life. And, because he was a big person on just treating people equal, giving back to the to others, giving back to the Black community, and just uplifting each other, And so I'm just thankful for all of that. That's who I am, I guess, in a nutshell.
Excellent. I love that part where you talked about, him giving back to the community and being there for the community, because so much of this, like the conversations this past week, has been about legacy and legends, leaving a legacy, and especially in this current time where people need a lot of motivation and inspiration. Guys as musicians, as artists, you are holding a real strong platform that keeps people inspired by listening to your music. But then I say, where do you guys go as artists yourself? Because you're supporting so many, but where do you guys, Gemini, where do you go? Where have you gone as we are still coming through this pandemic or this time?
I go to my brothers. I call them the Sons of Soul Legends, Joe Tex, you know what I'm saying? TJ Hooker Taylor, Jackie Wilson, son Bobby Wilson, Lou Rawls, David Ruffin, Benito King. These cats right here, man, they're all busy. They're all working. They're keeping themselves busy. They motivate me. Love talking to them. I miss the cats, like he said, he's in Atlanta. I'm over here in Ukraine, and and they're still working. They got shows going on, Sons of Soul Legend shows. Joe and them getting ready to go to Texas, El Paso. I go to what they're doing and what they're feeling, and I get their, from their heart and from their, souls, the love of music and just the love of life. That's where I go. I go to my brothers.
Excellent. And once again, we hear, I'm getting that sense of community. Community. Don't you go nowhere, Joe. I don't care if your phone rings, if it rains or hails. I've got you here.
Don't let Joe go nowhere. You lose Joe now, we won't get him back.
Absolutely.
That's the hardest working man in show business. He's like James Brown. He always
we're working at it. Yeah, but we're excited about the up and coming year. And just we're doing a show. Myself, TJ Taylor, Johnny Taylor's son, and David Ruffin Jr. David Ruffin's son. We're going to be doing something in El Paso February the 11th out there. So that'll be the first one for the year, and hopefully we'll be back in Vegas. We'll just have to see how things progress with this pandemic. Like you say, things are kind of getting back to where hopefully it won't get shut back down again like it was initially. So, but yeah,
excellent. Excellent. And if I can ask this question between both of you, now, did your fathers ever perform together, Joe and Gemini?
They were friends. Our fathers were friends, really friends. I told Joe one time that my father told my brother, he said, "Yeah, I love Joe Tex. Every time he come in, he gotta He got a drink in his hand. He would come over and visit my dad, and he had a drink in his hand.
Speaking of,
so Soul Clan. They were originally Soul Clan. Joe's dad and my dad were a part of the soul group they had in the, what was that, 60s, 60s, 70s, Joe?
Yeah, probably about 67, 68. They did some recording. They were on Atlantic Records, and they put out a couple of albums, and had Wilson Pickett, Benny King, Don Corvée. Actually, and actually, Wilson Pickett, and actually, what's his name? Otis Redding was one of the original members of the Soul
Clan. The plane crash. The plane crash.
Once that plane crash happened and Otis passed away, they brought in Wilson Pickett to take his spot. So I guess they were trying to be the super group of their time.
Like the Rat Pack, the Rat Pack, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Black Pack. I mean, it was a great thing. They were talking about buying up communities and buying up things that these kids are doing now in their own communities. Back then, they were talking about doing it to where they can open up stores for the community, the Black community. That was their plan. But they were, back then they were holding them from doing that. You know what I'm saying? I remember talking to Joe about it. My dad said they were asking for like $1 million to open up like a shopping center or something like that. And they didn't give them the money. So,
And after that, I think they kind of got axed from the record label because of that, because they saw what they were really trying to do and what they were trying to accomplish as Black entertainers. And, it called them the Black Pack.
That's right.
Back in the day, so they were trying to do some major things. It wasn't just about music, that was your catalyst to hopefully lead to you to do other things in the community and that kind of stuff. So
excellent. And have you guys taken things on as much as you can at this moment in time in working with the community? Obviously, as musicians, it's always about community, but on a wider level, are you involved in any community activities that you may say has you've taken the baton from your parents in a way?
I used to dabble in the church a little bit, and I did a lot of stuff with troubled youth. I worked with troubled youth a lot and the homeless veterans for a while during my time. So I did a lot of things with the homeless and troubled youth during my time as a young lad before getting started here once I got to Vegas and meeting up with Joe. But yeah, giving back to the community is a great thing. And my thing is with the homeless veterans and with the troubled youth of today without their fathers.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. And Joe?
Yeah, I've done some things, some benefit concerts and things like that. We were working on doing some things in the community in Texas where my dad with the high school, they do a big event every year for Juneteenth, which is a big thing in Texas. And I think it has finally gotten recognized nationwide. Where they're doing the Juneteenth. So my dad actually did that for a lot of years. He would go out and do benefit concerts. So I picked up on that, and we're working on that for next year in Texas too. So it's always good to just connect with the people and be out there and to hear their stories and just see how much our dads have touched people's lives through the years. It's just really beautiful. Because I remember I did a show this past summer in Maryland with TJ Taylor, and a lady was telling me about how just really one of my dad's songs saved her life. She put it like that, you know, it saved her life. And she started listening to it. She said it just gave her a different perspective on what she was going through at the time. So to hear those kind of stories really means a lot for us when we out there talking and connecting with the people. So.
Yeah. Well, what we're going to do now, we're going to go over to an ad break, and where I'm going to play, dip into a couple of your tracks. And then on the other side, we'll hear more of from the Sons of Legends. I'm interviewing Gemini Burke, the son of Solomon Burke, and Joe Tex too, from Joe Tex.
I'm talking about skinny legs and all. Skinny legs and all.
You know it. I'm not bumping with no big fat women no more. That's for sure.
I can almost get hold of Gemini, but I can't get hold of you. So you don't go anywhere, even if it's an ad.
Don't let him get away. Don't let Joe get away. We can rarely get that cat, man.
Okay, see you on the other side.
Thank you.
Hi, baby. You know, I've been meaning to talk to you about our love. You know, we've been through some ups and downs and some ins and outs. But there is never nothing that leads me to any doubt. Listen, baby. Our love is way much too strong. Our love steers us away from wrong. Our love can weather any storm. Our love always brings us home. And we argue, fuss, and fight. We know that that's not right. Then you walk out my door, swear you're not coming back no more. Now I don't know what to do, and I don't know what to say, but I know our love could never end this way. Our love is forever growing strong. Our love steers us away from wrong. Our love, is strong. Our love can never go wrong. Now your friends tell you that you ought to leave me alone. You're no company. Mine tell me that you ought to leave her be. But they don't know how our love burns inside. They don't know how your love takes me for a ride. Our love is way much too strong. Girl, you know our love, babe. Our love can weather any storm.
Oh, this is gonna be a groove for me. It's gonna be a little something different, but we're gonna give it to them anyway. Are you ready? Come on. Ha. We wanna give out a present to everybody this Christmas. All around the world, for every man, woman, boy, and girl. Are you ready right now? Come on. Here we go. Oh, I like it like that. Come on. That's it. All right. Come on. Oh, Christmas presents around the world. Something mighty sweet to see. If only if I just had a present for everyone under one great big Christmas tree. For every boy that wants a brand new toy, for every Johnny that wants a car, for every Junior that wants a mobile bike that rides and rides and rides. Now my little daughter, she wants a doll that cries, one that walks and wipes its eyes. And I see there's someone that wants somebody home just to live here in their arms. What a Christmas present, this Christmas. Oh, what a gift you would be. You know, if I could just give out Christmas presents to everyone.
Your love is lifting me higher than I ever been lifted before. This is Plateau Music recording artist Bobby Brooks Wilson, son of the late great Jackie Wilson, and you're on the sofa with Esther.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to On the Sofa with yours truly, Esther Austin. So I played an excerpt from Solomon Burke himself, the King of Soul, and also I played an excerpt from Gemini Burke, Our Love, and that was the radio mix.
I ain't seen Joe in a year.
Yeah.
I ain't seen Joe in a year.
We've got a little bit of feedback going on.
Yeah, man,
Here we go.
I can't wait to share the stage again with you.
I know, man. I know that we need to make that happen, man. You know.
Yeah.
And we need to tell people about our compilation album now. We got a compilation album.
Yeah.
The compilation album.
Let them know. Let them know.
There's a bit of echo going on. Is there something that's
is it on Gemini's end or my end?
I'm checking my end right now.
Okay, let's speak again. It's still there.
Anyway,
yeah, because everyone's sounding good to me on my end.
I see.
Okay.
There's an echo. Anyway, let's make this work, as they say, the show must go on. So,
Yes.
so when you guys get together and you're on stage, what does that feel like?
Well, I mean, it's just exhilarating for one, just to know that we out there representing our dad's great legacies and letting people know what we can do also. You know, it's a lot of pressure that comes with it sometimes, just having to fill those shoes. And but what we just tell people, we can't be them. You know, we can only just give you the representation of what we do, you know, in their honor. But, you know, there's no way we can fill those shoes for sure. So, you know, we just go on and oh, Roy, what's up, brother? Happy holidays, man. Good to see you.
Happy holidays to you.
We can hear you well.
What's that?
Good to see you. Hey, Gemini. Thanks, Esther.
I'm still hearing this feedback. I don't know what it is.
So I had to put my
I end everything's off.
Anyway, we'll just keep. Just say we'll keep moving through. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'd just like to introduce you to the gentleman that just popped into the studio. It's Roy Hamilton Jr., the son of Roy Hamilton. You know, I am sitting in the midst of grace because we talk. This show is about the sons and daughters of legends, but also you guys within your own right. You know, text Joe. You just said something really interesting there. That you know to either step into your father's shoes, and I just do this, or to continue the legacy. You know, sometimes that isn't me because people are always comparing. But that's why, and Gemini knows this because I've interviewed him a few times, that when I interview the sons and daughters of legends, I honor the parents, but then I also honor the sons and daughters because you're individuals in your own right, and you bring your own self to the platform, which is something that's to be honored as well. Is that making sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure.
So what I'm going to do now. This feedback is where. Are you guys getting in? Is it just me that's getting the feedback?
Yeah, well, I'm getting an echo from you.
Yeah, I can hear the feedback too.
It's feedback.
Yeah, I'm not hearing it. I'm not hearing it at all.
What I'm going to do, I'm going to go over to ad break and see if I can rectify this, because this is a great conversation that people really need to hear without any interruption. So, ladies and gents, you're listening to On the Sofa with Esther. And in the studio, like I said, I've got Gemini Burke, the son of Solomon Burke, Joe Tex 2, the son of Joe Tex, and Roy Hamilton Jr., the son of Roy Hamilton. We'll see you in a minute.
When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of a storm is a golden sky.
You had the better hold on to what you got. You had the better hold on to what you got. 'Cause if you think nobody wants it, just throw it away, and you will see someone will have it before you can count. 1, 2, 3. Yes.
A massive
All right.
welcome to all my guests this evening to On the Sofa with Esther, a place where stars and legends hang out. Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Right. I tell you, the thing is with this, Roy, it's, you know, some days it works well, and then other days something happens and you like, I've just used it yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, you know, it's the miracle of modern technology.
Absolutely.
It works when you want it to.
That's how
It's gone. And the thing is, it's showing me in polka dot, and I've actually got a green jumper on.
Yeah,
I
in my
see.
you look good, Roy. You look good.
Oh, thank you, sir. You too. You as well, Gemini. Good to see everybody. Thanks for having me on, Esther. It's really a
No,
pleasure to see
it's
you.
a real pleasure. When Gemini sent me your details, I'm like, yeah, and I listened to your father's music, and then also he texts Joe to say, come on. I'm like, yes, fantastic.
Yo, what's happening?
So we got
Yeah,
some
now
great.
it sounds good. It sounds good.
Yes, it does. It's a lot better. So I'm just going to take it back a bit to I'm going to just reintroduce Roy, and then like I said, I will edit out that fuzzy bit. So Roy, if I have to ask who is Roy Hamilton in a nutshell, in a peanut shell, or a crab shell, what would you say?
Roy Hamilton, the golden boy of song, the undeniable vocalist, big ballad band, big singer. You know what I mean? The voice was amazing, incredible. He had incredible energy. I mean, what else can I say? He was a phenomenal artist, and I was just gracious enough to happen to be his son. You know what I mean? And I just really, he's just amazing. It was just amazing, just amazing artist.
Excellent. And you know what's really interesting? All of you, when you speak about your father, there is an honoring. I mean, in any relationship, you might have your ups and downs or whatever, but there's such an honoring of these men that were in your lives, and that's walks with you all. That's because it's interesting. When I talk to Gemini, and I've done it for years, I've known him, I think, about 3 years now. I always call him Solomon, and I catch myself, and so it's almost like I'm sensing his father through, isn't it? Even when I've interviewed you, Gemini, I've called you Solomon. So there's something.
You call me that all the time.
I do. So I'm obviously feeling the essence of your father still strongly through you. And I remember when I met you was it Vegas 3 years ago? The way you spoke about your father, it was almost as if he was still around you, still holding that space for you. It was really strong. And so I think this is the first time I've got your name right. So.
And I'm glad you did this time, because I got these other legends on here. I'm telling you, I was a big fan of Joe's dad with the Ain't Gonna Bump No More and I Got You. I Got You. And I became a great fan of Roy's dad when I seen the video of his dad on an Elvis Presley movie, because I'm an Elvis Presley fan.
Yeah.
And when I found out that Elvis Presley got the from Roy's dad, I'm like, oh my God, that he got it. So I'm a big fan of Roy's dad, man. I mean, I'm amazed. Elvis Presley. Come on, Joe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they probably all kind of, as artists. I was doing an interview the other day with someone, Ali Hackett in Philly, and just talking about that fact, how everybody probably kind of took a little something from each other, because it was a big thing with James Brown and my dad with the mic situation and all of that. So, but they were on the same label together, so they probably were studying each other at the same time while they were working, So yeah, and then there's a great story about Roy's dad too, Roy, because Roy was on the Ali Hackett thing the other night too, man. So
yeah,
it's good that
Roy getting it done. Yeah. Roy getting it done, man.
Yeah. This man is getting around. He's making moves, baby. So, but just about his dad and how he would help out my dad and other artists back in the day when they were struggling and they weren't doing that well in the industry, and he would just give back. So they were all supporting each other, uplifting each other, and just helping each other through those times. Because they were dealing with this with segregation, racism, the chilling circuit, and all of that kind of stuff. So it was a lot different. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, he was such a great artist, and as well as your dad is also fantastic. But they were all good friends, and they all they toured a lot together. When they was back and forth. Where Hamilton being at the Apollo or whatever, and they'd be doing their thing. And it's just so amazing just to be a part of it, just to actually just wake up one day, oh, I'm Roy Hamilton Jr. and I'm representing such a great artist,
Yes.
I'm sure you guys feel the same way. It's like whenever I get on stage, I just try to be as much like my dad as possible, and just continue to sing, try to sing the songs and to just continue to just represent him, you know what I mean, as best I can,
And what part of you, I'm going to ask each of you, because you talk about your fathers, yes, but what part of you do you infuse into your performances? Because there's got to be a little something of Roy and Joe and Gemini that you put in there. What is that something? That's
I just like to try to mimic him, and just like Elvis did it. He grabbed onto that, you know what I'm saying? So that's like is that what I try to incorporate into my songs. When I'm singing, well, my dad's songs or whatever. When I'm singing my own, I just try to sing as as close to him as possible, is to mimic him as much as possible. And I'm sure that Elvis got a lot of the moves from my dad, because he'd be on stage and he'd be like a one-man band show. One-man show, you know what I mean? Because he's out there by himself. Most of the time, he, especially on his later years, he didn't even have any background vocalists. He'd just sing, just him, one man right in the middle of the audience, and just he'll come out there and mingle with the audience and talk, and I do the same thing.
But I watched the video of your father, Roy, and he's got a very powerful presence. When he's singing, you can see that the music is just all over him. It's in his cells. It's everywhere. You can see that. And then he opens his mouth. You think, dang. Powerful, really powerful. And then even with Solomon Burke, he has the huge presence as well, commanding. And even with your father, Joe, they each of them had their own presence and their own stamp. And I know sometimes it must be difficult, like I said, it's not that you're trying to emulate your fathers to be precisely who they are, but you're trying to give the audience an essence of your fathers, as well as keeping the legacy alive, as well as infusing a little bit of you. And that's quite a responsibility, isn't it, gentlemen?
Oh, yes, definitely. That.
Go ahead, Gemini. Get in there, man.
I find it very difficult, because it's, my father being a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, singer, and traveled the world for many years, and a huge man. Thank God I'm a huge man. I do have that part. Because,
you're about live football, aren't you? He's about live football. Next to him in Vegas to take a picture. Sorry, I stood next to Gemini to take a picture, and I was like a child, like, oh my days. I wanted to stand on the stool to take the picture.
So if anything, God had blessed me with his presence. His voice is something that's in all of our bloodlines from our fathers, because we do have their voice. And if you look at these guys on film right now, as I am, they look like their fathers. These cats right here, they look like their fathers. So that essence that you carry of your father, and the look, as soon as you get on stage, sometimes I feel that my father's spirit is with me on that stage. So I try my best to kind of just be me, but do his music the best I can. Because I'm not, I'm not like the rest of my brothers that were with my father all the time. So I don't know a lot of the music, but I love my dad's music. I love the music. So I just sing it, and I'm full of joy when I'm gonna get on the stage because I love the sound of his music.
Right.
I love the way everybody reacts to it. And, you know, cry to me, bring it on.
Yes, absolutely.
Excellent.
Yeah,
And
everyone appreciates so much,
go on, Roy. Sorry, apologies.
Yeah, everybody appreciates the music, and when the minute they hear the name Roy Hamilton, they go like, "Oh man, that You Never Walk Alone, that Ebb Tide," There's some of the songs that stick out in their memories, and it's like when I get out there, I'm just like I said, I just want to I pour out as much emotion as possible. And then that's just what Dad did also. He just sang out the emotion, and that's really, I think.
Right. And I kind of think people are kind of already halfway there with us anyway, because they're reliving those times through that music that we're doing as well. When we're doing our dad's songs. So that's kind of taking them back in the day, and then they're seeing, kind of a reincarnation of those artists through us, and we're just giving them that energy, trying to just channel to them through that music, that they're living those times and reliving those days. Everybody talk about the good old days. So we just we want to, that's kind of what we try to bring, and give them that essence.
I remember the first time that we met Roy. And I met Roy at our first show in Vegas. Joe, remember?
Okay.
First show in Vegas.
Yeah,
and it was kind of fun because I'm a big fan of Joe's dad. I got you. I got you. Ain't gonna bump no more, no big fat woman and skinny legs and all. Every time Joe does a show and he goes on before I do, I'm in the back. I'm dancing. To, because I'm a fan of our father's music, all of our father's music. I've been a fan since I was a child.
Absolutely. I listen to everything.
Brilliant. I almost want to ask you guys to give a rendition. There must be a track that you all know that you can harmonize, but maybe that's putting too much on you.
Trying to get us on a recording. Well, I mean, and that's kind of what it was all about too. Us kind of connected with each other was trying to recreate that soul clan that our dads had kind of done back in the day. Gemini and I talk about all the time, trying to get all the guys in the studio so we can review one of those songs or come up with something on our own, or recreate something new with all of us on it together. And
if you hear that song Soul Clan Meeting,
that's something
from the Soul Clan, if you ever hear that, that's really what we want to do. I've been telling Joe, I said, man, we got to remake this Soul Clan. We got to get these cats. We got the bloodline. We need to do this Soul Clan meeting, man, from the Soul Clan with the second generation guys. Because we got Joe, we got Benny King's son.
Yes,
So then we need to add the other ones in for Arthur Clooney, Wilson Pickett, and that's Roy, Bobby, TJ. We really just bring back that soul, the second generation. Soul Clan too, man.
Absolutely, yeah.
And would you be thinking to would it be a merge of old school meets new school, Gemini? Gemini with some of that old school sound and classics, but bringing in a little bit of something new, because, you know, especially in the UK, they still love old school. They love old school. I know in Europe they love old school. Old school's the rage. And no, actually, like I said, Gerald Alston told me off one day. He goes, young lady, not old school, classic artist. I said,
That's right. That's right.
But is that the sound that you're looking to bring back? You know, that mix of old meets new?
You know, I've always thought with the gentlemen that I know, because they're all gentlemen, they're all, their fathers are classic. I always thought that sound has been lost. And this generation we're in now doesn't understand it. So hopefully by us coming together and bringing that music back, maybe people can understand that the real music started with our fathers back in the 60s and 50s. Because some of the stuff that they're doing now is not new. It's just a remake of what our fathers did years and years and years ago. Because there's nothing new under the sun. So if we could just bring what we've been doing and what our fathers created inside of us and the music, and bring it back. Music is all about love, and that's what the world needs a little bit more now. A little bit of love around the world is what we need.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to go over to another ad break, and I am going to play Roy in performance and also Joe Tex in performance. Gemini, I'm going to see if I can pull up the video. It's amazing what you can do with this technology now. Draw down.
You're doing a great job over. We ready to get to the UK for some shows. Y'all need to, need to talk to some promoters.
Look, we're trying to get to the UK. We're waiting on Esther to hook us up. We're waiting on Esther to hook us up now that she's
what
got
you need to do is get your cats. I love that, cats together, and you know, put on your shows, and then we can have a talk about getting you over, because you know, like you said, I think it would be really great to have you all on one platform. I mean, I'm sure the crowd would just go mental.
Because a lot of dads were loved over there in Europe. You know, they did a lot of touring over there. So
a lot. And just to bring that sweet soul music back over here, original, you know, and let the cats, you know, because like I said, we look like our fathers. So just putting that up on the screen behind us, the pictures of our fathers, the music, it's amazing. It will be awesome.
And especially in these times, I know I said I'm going to go to ad break, and I will, but especially in these times where also it has been a time of, you know, people having the time to think, to reminisce. And so, you know, having you all on one platform brings back that place of reminiscence. It's just like when I was in Vegas, I think 3 years ago, and I went to see Little Anthony, because I had interviewed him, I believe it was in March, and he goes, young lady, I'm going to be performing in Vegas in June. I'm like, I said to my boys, get me a credit card, book me a ticket, I'm gone. And, and I showed up, but just to see him perform, it was, you know, just going back to the classics, the movements, the dance, the jokes, the innuendos, and then he opened his mouth and sang, and I literally was like that, because it was also an honoring of not just an elder, but someone who's was leaving a legacy, a very strong legacy, as an individual, as an artist, as a performer, as an entertainer, because they're all different things, but similar. That is classic. That is classic. So we are going to go over to an ad break, and we'll see you on the other side.
My father recorded this song in 1955. It's one of his biggest hits. I hope you enjoy it. Oh, my love, my darling, I hunger for your touch. Are you still
Give it up. Let's do it. Come on, y'all. Three nights ago, I was at the disco, and I want to book. It's ready to go. This big back woman put me on the floor. She was ready to go. That chick was ready to go. Then she did it, almost broke my hip. She was getting down low. That woman was getting down. She wanted to bump some more, but I told her no. You done knocked me down once. You done hurt my hip once. Said you wanna dance, go find you a big.
Okay,
I was bumping. I was bumping. I was
Oh, y'all
bumping.
remember that?
Yeah, I was bumping. Man, that was beautiful. Guys, you sound great, Roy. Oh man, excellent.
You know,
Esther, that was a good find. Good find, Esther. Way to
I
go.
was trying to find one of you live as well. You know, like I said, technology is brilliant. But what's really interesting also, I mean, it's okay to be the sons of legends, but you've also got voices. You know, sometimes it must be a little sad if you are the sons of legends and you want to carry on the legacy and you just don't have it. So maybe shuffle a bit of paper and put up a couple of posters. But you guys have, you know, no disrespect to anyone.
At least
but, you know,
we're able to do it some justice, you know. So that's
Exactly.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know, ultimately, guys, where if you know the world was your oyster, where else would you want to take your father's or your parents' legacy music? You know, what would you do? Would you create a museum? What is it? You know, that dream place that you would go to, Roy?
Across the pond, we all want to get across the pond. Let's just, we all want to come across the pond to your spot. We all want to come in. The pond is across the ocean. You know,
Gemini.
Get over in England, Germany.
I hear you.
Hey, anywhere
loud and clear.
I would go anywhere they have me. The UK, Germany, Australia. I've got my passport, so I'm ready to go wherever.
Hello.
Yes, absolutely. I've been in Canada already. I did a few shows up there, and it was really fun to be there, and up in Toronto.
Okay.
So that was really fun and interesting, and like I said, I'm ready to go to other places as well. I've been to England, once, and France, so I'm looking to go back soon, really soon. Well, soon
Excellent.
now that everything is opening up now, it'd be great to be able to get out and
Well,
travel
let's
again.
hope you just keep opening. Just keep opening and keep
That's
going.
right. That's
Well,
right.
I've got my vaccinations. I got my 2 vaccinations, and I got the booster shot too as well. So
Well, that's
we
good.
have to do whatever we can do so that we can be prepared to get out there, and we don't want to be getting sick. Especially when we're getting out there. Even though, and if we have to do whatever we can do to be prepared.
Yeah.
That's it.
And if I had to ask each and every one of you, what do you feel were the special attributes? I mean, we've spoken about different attributes that your fathers have and yourselves, but if you had to say coin 2 special attributes that you feel the audience would say about your father, what would they be?
Joe, your turn.
I guess I'll take this one. I guess the main thing that he was a hard worker on a show, that he gave his all. He left it all on the stage, and he really enjoyed connecting with people and giving back to people. He was the kind of person that would just give you the shirt off his back. He wasn't, material things didn't mean anything to him. It was all about family to him and not fame. That was really what inspired him. And that's on his tombstone where he's buried in Navasota, Texas. It was family, not fame. And he was just down to earth. I mean, all the way. I remember a story my cousins would tell me about one time, because Dad loved Cadillacs. That was his ride. He kept a clean Cadillac all the time. And he went up to town one day, because we were out in the country. He's a country guy, on the farm, riding horses, that kind of stuff, fishing, love football. And he went up to town one day to do something, and went to buy some chickens for the farm. He didn't have a truck. He threw the damn chickens in the back of the Cadillac. They come back feathers all over the Cadillac, all inside. Chickens jumping out the Cadillac. I mean, and he was humorous. I guess you could kind of tell through his music with the skinny legs and ain't gonna bump. And he did another song called Willie Was Dancing with the Sissy. One time about how in the disco this guy was dancing with this woman this man that he thought was a woman. I mean, he just talked about a little of everything. Just life, things we
Yeah.
So he was just a character, and had a lot of energy, and I just learned a lot of that just growing up and being around him in the band and having the opportunity to be on the road with him.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, and we'll come back to that. Gemini, what about you? What would you say was some distinct attributes about your father?
His essence, his power, his character. People loved my father. They always said he was a big man, but he was full of the Spirit, the Holy Spirit, God's Spirit.
Yeah.
And he loved people. He loved people. He called him Bishop because he was a bishop. So he would not only give the power of music, but he brought the Holy Spirit with him sometimes, and they started having church at some of these shows, because he started praying for folk and singing gospel. And you know. So it was his power, his stature, you know, around people, and the respect that people gave him and the respect he gave others. So with my father, it was give a little, get a little, you know. I'll give
Yes.
you some respect, you give me some. And his power on the stage, his power, just period. People meeting him, they loved him. So he was a very powerful man in all aspects. His
Yes.
voice, his stature, his kindness was really special.
Excellent.
Mhm.
Excellent. And last but not least, Roy.
Yeah. First of all, they called him the Golden Boy with the golden voice. That was one thing. And he not only did they called him the Golden Boy because he was a amateur heavyweight boxer. So that's where the golden boy thing came from. But then also with the golden voice, he was amazing. They called him the gentle giant because he had a huge stature, but at the same time he was very humble and very generous, and he helped all the guys, like you said earlier, Joe, that he helped all the guys, all the entertainers, through their careers and helped them, like Brooke Benton. He helped Brooke get his career going, and they were like,
Brooke.
yeah, they were the songwriting team, him and Clyde Otis, and they all got together and did some songs. And my dad encouraged Brooke to go ahead and record it, record the song, and he did, and they presented it, and that's how Brooke got his career started.
Rainy Night in Georgia, right? Is that Rainy Night in Georgia?
Rainy Night in Georgia.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful song right there.
Because my dad, he would perform that on his shows as well. That was a song he would always do. Yeah.
I like
it. And he helped Sam and Dave. They used to fight and stuff. He used to help them out. He used to keep them from fighting because they'd be fighting in the background, backstage sometime. And he would always intervene when somebody had a problem, like like he'll bail somebody out of jail. Somebody got arrested for having a $50 bill. I mean, back in them days, black people didn't have $50 bill. They're supposed to have one.
Right.
And they figured, he'll go out, he'll help bail them out. You know what I mean? Get them back on the bus and continue to go on with the tour. So there's a lot of stuff happening, down back in the day, and a lot of stuff that they had to endure. But at the same time, they had that, he had the humble spirit, and he got along, pretty much with everybody. It wasn't like he had to fight and carry on. You know what I mean? He just handled things in a diplomatic way, and I mean, everybody just loved him and really appreciated him for all his art, and his talent.
And hopefully y'all don't lose me in a minute. I'm down. I'm running low on battery. Gemini, I wasn't expecting to be on this call.
I know. I actually stopped in for 5 minutes, and you've been here quite a long time. I'm blessed to just have you show up.
Thank you so much.
It's good seeing you all, and it's good to be a part of this. This is really an honor for me to be on the show with these fine gentlemen and just representing this great legacy. It's true.
And before you disappear, even if you've got 1 minute, just talk very fast. What was it like to to be on the road with your father, or did you get the opportunity to go on the road with your father? Because I know some artists sometimes didn't get that opportunity, but they knew their father.
Thankfully I had that opportunity. I had a band growing up in Baton Rouge, and we would have our songs that we would get together. So whenever Dad would come to the area, he'd say, "Man, y'all get a little set together. I'm gonna have y'all come open up, do some things for me." So I actually had a chance to open up, 2 or 3 shows with him, and he brought me on stage and introduced me to the crowd and just said how he did not want me to do music. That was really not what he wanted me to do with my life. Just because of the business that it is, all the things you go through with it. It's not all glitz and glamour, you know. So it's a lot that goes with it. And he wanted me to be a lawyer, a doctor, something like that, do something other than that. But I got the bug from just being around him, being around music, growing up. And my mom was a big music person. She had albums all over the place. So I was just around it. So it was going to happen naturally anyway. But it was just a blessing to be able to share the stage with him and for him to introduce me, per se, I guess, to music. And just told me to be a songwriter. Don't always be a performer. He said the money is in the writing and publishing and the business side of the industry. You know, so just you know, it's more to it than just being on stage.
Yes,
taking care of that business.
Excellent.
It's so important. So yeah, so learned a lot of lessons, thankfully, good and bad. You know, things not to take, things to take. You know, so yeah, it's all of that. Brilliant.
Well, Joe, I just want to just say thank you so much. Thank you, Gemini, for getting him on board last minute. He's always saying, "I'm trying to get these cats." I love that American terminology.
You know, he keeps he keeps us under his wings, you know, so he can get to us whenever he needs to.
I try to
appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. I love these cats, man. Happy holidays too to everyone. Happy holidays, and everyone. Happy holidays. Blessed New Year coming up. Yeah.
Merry Christmas to everyone.
Put me up on Facebook as well, Joe, so I can keep a track. I think we are connected anyway, so I can keep tabs of what you're doing, and then it would be lovely to have you back on some, you know, maybe the first half of next year, just to see, you know, where you guys are, what you're doing, and where you're going, just to keep tabs. It would
Sounds
be really
great.
Nice. So thank you very much for your time.
Look forward to it. I'm humble. Thank you. We appreciate it.
We love you, Joe. We love you. And Merry Christmas, baby. Merry Christmas, and God bless.
All right, Joe. Take care, man.
All right.
See you soon.
All right.
See you
in Vegas soon, man. See you in Vegas. I'm coming.
That's right.
I'll let you know.
Oh yeah.
All right.
And in the wings now we have Beth Griffith-Manley in the wings. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over to another ad break. Joe, take care. And just to remind you that you are listening to On the Sofa with Esther. And, you know, I'm talking to the sons and daughters of legends, but they are legends themselves. I've had a great conversation this afternoon, and there's more to come. So see you on the other side.
God bless. Merry Christmas.
Too cool.
You know you make me want to shout, kick my heels up and throw my head back and come on now, come on now. Don't forget to say you will. Don't forget to say yeah, 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 yeah. Hi, I'm Lloyd Williams, and on behalf of the music from Alamo House, I'd like to take this moment and congratulate my friend Esther Austin on the sofa with Esther. Hey, 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 ha, hey.
Okay, well, welcome back. I'm now going to bring.
Yeah, we're back.
I'm going to bring Beth, Beth Griffith-Manley, into the broadcast studio with some other legends. Beth, hello.
Hey.
How you doing there, young lady?
I'm good. How's everybody? Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays.
Fantastic. Well, let me do some introductions because I believe it's important to do introductions. This is the lovely Beth Griffith-Manley, and she is the daughter of the funk brother, one of the funk brothers, Johnny, Johnny Taylor. No, Johnny Griffith.
Johnny Griffith.
Apologies, Johnny Griffith.
It's okay.
It's just like the time difference, Gemini's in Eastern Europe, then Roy is there, and I just sometimes get mixed up with the times. Anyway, and this gentleman is Gemini. Where are you?
I'm in Detroit.
Oh, that's 5 hours before.
Yeah.
And then Roy, where are you, Roy?
Las Vegas.
Okay, that's 8 hours. Okay, so this is Gemini Burke, the son of Burke, and then this is Roy Hamilton Jr., the son of Roy Hamilton. So thank you for joining on the Sofa with Esther, where we are celebrating the sons and daughters of legends this evening. And Beth, I know I've asked you this many times before, boring, but I'm going to ask you again. Who is Beth? Who is Beth in a nutshell, in a peanut shell, or let's go for a coconut shell with you.
Coconut shell, walnut shell, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Beth, I'm a singer. I am getting to be a better songwriter, and I love people. I'm the daughter of a funk brother. I love shopping. I love taking back. I love performing. I love connecting with my audience. I love meeting new people. So that's kind of me in a,
in a shell.
Walnut shell, peanut shell, all of that.
Fantastic. And this evening we've been having a conversation, Beth, about your fathers and the legacy that they've left, but also how they influenced and inspired your own lives, but also how you still continue the legacy, but then you also build a brand within your own self. So you have your own identity. How easy or hard has that, or challenging has that been for you? Or how have you dissected that?
It is challenging, but I'm up for the challenge. And it is a process of, as you grow as an individual, and then you have a parent that already had their own footprint in the music business, you try to always keep ties with the legacy that your parent left you, but you also try to establish your own legacy. And I'm up for the challenge, and I love the process. I love the growth that I'm finding myself in, the growth spurt, the growth process. And it's always warming to my heart when I meet people, when I'm out on the road and they come up and they tell me that they knew my dad, or they studied my dad's piano playing, or how my father had influenced them, or a funny story that they have of my dad. I love that connection. I love that it's almost like his legacy is still surrounding me and encompassing me, and it'll never go, because he touched a lot of people. And there's a lot of people who've never heard of my dad, or were not familiar with the Funk Brothers, because they were very unsung. So when I'm able to tell the story of what he did musically to contribute to music as a whole for American music, not only American music, but international music, because Esther, you're over in the UK and you guys play a lot of Motown. You know, there's nowhere that you go in the world and you don't mention Motown and somebody's not familiar with that.
Yes,
so
that's true.
And that's something key that Beth said, gentlemen, is that, you know, what does it feel like when people come up to you in the street? I mean, firstly, are you recognized? And then what does it feel like when someone says, you're the son of, you know, how does that make you feel? Roy?
Oh, it makes me feel terrific. I mean, just the fact that the people remember Dad, you know, and remember, I said, man, thanks so much for remembering my dad. You know, he did quite a few songs. He covered a lot of songs, not only Don't Let Go or You Never Walk Alone, Unchained Melody, Ebb Tide, but the fact is that I just appreciate that they would come up to me, oh man, your dad was such an amazing artist, and you know, we just loved him. He sang at my graduation, you know, and things like that. You know, Ruth Brown, she told me a story about my dad. She said to me, she says, you know what? I was almost your mother. I was almost your mother. So, you know, she was doing the show here in Las Vegas at the Bootlegger up the street, a really nice dinner club, and they do live music entertainment there. She had a show there ongoing for such a long time, and we happened to be there because she wrote several books and included my dad in some of those pages. So, yeah.
Wow. Stories. That's what, you know, that's what life is made of when you hear these stories. What about you, Gemini?
I don't know if I could top the one about, you know, I almost been your mama. I top that one. I don't, you know, I don't know. Just we're talking to Joe, and I told you earlier how, Roy, I told you earlier how Roy's dad, just seeing his dad in the Elvis Presley movie, Jailhouse Rock, was like, wow. I mean, I became a new fan of Roy after that because I'm an Elvis Presley fan.
Isn't that something?
But people, when they see me, they don't really recognize me until someone sings "Cry to Me" or the Blues Brothers, or someone sings one of my dad's songs, or there's a movie that comes on that his music plays, and this somebody says, I know a guy named Gemini Burke. Then I'll get a phone call. Hey, your dad's music's on this movie. Is that your dad? That's your dad?
Yeah.
Like, wow, I didn't know that. And I'll be like, well, because I don't tell too many folks. You know, a lot of times you don't really tell anybody. It's kind of like they know from, like with Roy. When Roy came to one of my shows, I didn't know who Roy was until I really did my own research about his father. I mean, even this young lady you got here, I'm going to do research once we get off to kind of find out exactly more about her father. And that's how we children of legend come together, because we research each other's parents and realize, hey, those kids are just like me. They understand some of the things I've been through. some of the things I grew up with, some of the things I dealt with to this day. So it's important to bring what you're doing right now, bringing the children of these legends together, is a good thing. So usually when I see people ask me about my dad, like Roy, I'm excited. I'm glad they know my father because that's the 50s. You're talking 50s and 60s and 70s. So his music is still valuable today. They're still using it, still singing it today. Everybody's redone Cry to Me. Everybody's redone Cry to Me. And the Blues Brothers, Everybody Needs Somebody, is big because of the Blues.
Yeah, I love that.
Yes.
That's one of my
Yes.
favorites.
It's a lot of great stuff that my dad has done. And he was the first Black country singer with Atlanta Records. You know, two hits that he did with Atlanta Records that were country songs. And I didn't know it, but I like to sing country. So, yeah, you're right. I love when people come up and tell me, "Hey, Gemini, you look like your dad." So, you know, I take that because he was a handsome guy, from what the ladies tell me.
Oh, whatever, Beth. Anyway, Beth. Right, back to Beth.
Just saying.
That was a great performance, by the way, Beth. That was a really great performance on The Voice, right?
Oh, thank you.
Wow, that was amazing. Yeah,
that was a lot of fun. Thank you.
Awesome.
And the thing with Beth, what's really, you know, in you know, is, and this applies to all of you, but with Beth, she's really come away, because I've had the privilege of interviewing her a few times, and I met her in Beverly Hills about 2 years ago at the Hal Awards, and I remember turning around, and there was this lady. She was dressed in black. I always remember black with a V-neck, just very simple but very stunning. Very simple but very stunning. And I said to her, "Oh, I like your look," because I think I was talking to the late Mary Wilson at the time, because I got you guys on the red carpet.
Yes.
And, you know, I always remembered her essence, and then the more that I've interviewed her, you know, what's really nice is a lot of people look at artists as you perform, and they think you guys got it together. But she's really shared candidly the struggle of being where she is now, but also the confidence and the peace and the assurity of where she is now. Beth, over to you.
You know, there's such a process of growing into being a solo artist, you know, and I've had the privilege to go on shows like The Voice and to spread my wings and to stretch and to trust myself and to trust the process. It's a lot to do, and I try to remain very candid with people in explaining to them the true process and struggle of becoming a solo artist and transitioning like that, because I was a background singer for many years, and that I still am. You know, I did 5 years touring with Anita Baker. I've been with Kim 9 years. I also tour and travel with Najee, and actually with Najee, I do solo work. I don't really do that much background. I sing some of his stuff, and then I sing some of my songs in his show. That's a process that just took years for me to get there, and to trust myself, to put myself out there. I think a lot of times we have the magic of social media, where you see people and they just they just blossom overnight, and it's not an overnight process. It is not an overnight growth thing. It takes years for you to do that. You have to know yourself. You have to know and surround yourself with people that you can work with and trust. And I really try to be very candid with people, telling them what it takes to be a solo artist. And everybody wants to jump up and have a manager. Everybody wants to have a publicist. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a process. So
Right.
and I'm right in the middle of it. So, but I love it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. And it's interesting because even for me, for what I do, I think I'm coming through it. I'm coming to the end of where everything's suddenly going bam. But like you said, it's been about 15, almost 20 years of being on this journey. And then all of a sudden, because I'm tired. I'm tired. When you get to that soul tiredness, it's a physical tiredness, it's a mental tiredness, because you've given all, but you've driven through, and there's still a little bit to go. You still got to keep your foot on that pedal until that next breakthrough. And that's why, is that saying, is it the biblical saying about, where the people perish because they don't have a vision? Because if you don't have that vision, trust me, you would go under, because there's nothing to reach forward to. There's nothing to reach to. So I hear you, Beth, because and I surmise that's been part of all of your journey. And I know, Gemini, when I've interviewed you a few times, you've talked about just keeping going, and sometimes just needing, if it's just one person to say, yes, you can. Roy, what do you say about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's very important that you gain the confidence of certain people that actually can help you. You know what I mean? Because everybody needs a little help. You know what I mean? I mean, my father, he if it wasn't for Bill Cook, his manager, he wouldn't have got there. Maybe you may not never met Roy Hamilton or knew Roy Hamilton or of his music if it wasn't for his manager, Bill Cook. So Bill Cook was one of the first African American DJs and television personalities on the East Coast back in the day, and my father went to the Caravan Club, and where he was doing his show, and Bill took a liking to him and said, "Okay, we're gonna make a demo and send it to Columbia Records." That's how he got my dad got his start, and I thank my wife and manager Maria Hamilton for all her. She keeps me together. We produce shows together. We had the radio program called the Golden Boy Hour. Roy Hamilton Remembered, and we did that for several years on Baby Boomer Radio. So we just played all the dad's music, and we, continue just to speak up and talk about the legacy and the songs and the music, and everybody appreciated it. We continue to build and grow. And as you know, I mean, if people can depend on you, I think that they would be more, more trusting to say, okay, I'm gonna take a chance on this guy, take a chance on this girl, because I think she's got, not only can she sing, but she's dependable, or he, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah. So we continue to move forward and go upward and continue to keep that vision and that dream alive, that we're striving for. I mean, it's been a year. So, long story short, we started the campaign to get Dad into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame since 1998. So he still haven't gotten inducted yet, but we keep on trying. We have a website, royhamilton.com, and we have a petition, so you can sign it to get him up into the Hall of Fame. And like I said, just for his recognition of all his talent and his contribution to music.
Excellent. And what about you, Gemini?
Well, as you know, just sitting here listening to these guys, I wanted to say one thing real quick. Was that you, young lady, singing? And what he said, was that on The Voice? That was you?
Yes.
I thought that was some lady that was professional, big time millionaire. That was you. Oh my God. that was amazing. I was wondering. Roy said that was great. I'm like, that was a professional lady from the.
All right, let me just remind you. Let me just go over to a brief clip. Hold on. Let me just. Okay, she says, till you come back to me, I'm going to do
That's my song. That's my song right there. That's my song.
Thank you.
Go ahead, girl. Woo. You know what? Beautiful. Thank you, Roy, for saying that because I was like,
thank you guys.
Talking about that is beautiful. Oh my God, powerful.
Gemini, I know you were appreciating her, but then Roy was, seeing the bigger picture. So we get that. We get that.
I wake me up over here. Wake me up. I'm in Ukraine, so I don't know. But now I know. Fantastic. Your voice is beautiful.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you.
Brilliant. Brilliant. And as we
what was the question you was asking me? I'm sorry. The whole time that everybody was talking, I was trying to figure out, was that her?
Beth, you said how you distracted this man. Roy, what was the question again?
Oh wow. Oh, man, don't ask me now.
I'm caught in the song, man. I'm caught in the song. Dionne Warwick. Was that Dionne Warwick?
Till you come back to me.
Was she the original singer of that song?
That song was Aretha Franklin.
Aretha Franklin.
Oh Lord, girl, you singing
Aretha. So here's a fun fact. So Aretha Franklin, she's from Detroit. I'm in Detroit, born and raised in Detroit, and so my dad was Aretha Franklin's first touring keyboard player. So that was such a great connection for me because I've got a chance to kind of interact with Miss Franklin a couple times, and my dad used to tell me stories about her all the time. So it was really fun for me to represent my city, Detroit, as well as to sing a song by Aretha Franklin from our city. So that was really, really awesome. And that was John Legend's first season on The Voice as a coach. So it was really great.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, this is all really exciting to me because I know cats trying to get on The Voice. I know people trying to get on The Voice, and you was on there and you tore it up. I think they put the button and said yes.
On the show, so yeah, thank you. I had a great time. It's a process to get on there. So.
Look, that ain't just no regular talent show down the street, in the recreation center. Okay, that ain't the recreation center talent show. Okay, that's right. Like a world kind of thing there. That's beautiful.
It is. Thank you so much. It being on that show did change the trajectory of my career and helped. It really did help me. So I'm glad that I did it.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
So you don't mind if I go out and brag and say, yeah, my buddy's from Chicago. She was on The Voice and blah, blah, blah. Is that all right?
No, thank you so much.
Excellent. Is it Detroit? Is Detroit enough?
Detroit, yeah.
Detroit, yeah. You see, you're so bamboozled. You get things wrong. Just Detroit.
Well, like you said,
fine. Listen, as long as you say something nice, it's fine. I'm not that picky.
I know. I have this thing with Gemini. We just poke at each other. Well, you know, I've asked these two gentlemen, Beth, you know, what do you feel were the attributes that people will remember your father by? Because, you know, each individual have those special attributes or mannerisms. What do you think it was for your father?
My dad was really funny, you know, and people often have hilarious stories. He was a prankster. He loved to tell jokes. And I think my dad had a really great smile, and I got his teeth in his smile. Like the bottom part of me is my dad. So those two things. He loved to laugh. He loved to smile. He loved to tell jokes. He was just really a funny guy, and I truly got that from my dad.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. And then, and moving forward, as we sort of come to the end of another year, you know, this for me, this is a celebration of the sons and daughters of legends. And as we come through, for you, Beth, and I'm going to ask yourselves, gentlemen, as well, you know, what are some of the things that you've learned about yourself this year as you've come through, and then what's happening in 2022 as you take not just your father's legacy, but you take yourselves into 2022?
Wow.
Oh, well, this year, starting, you know, 2021 was more, we were able to come out and do a lot more than we were in 2020. So even though we were, you know, at the height of the pandemic in 2020, I still was actually working. I filmed an independent movie and actually recorded my second album the majority of 2020. So I worked, you know, very carefully, but I worked. And 2021, we came into 2021. It was a little slow starting off because I was still continuing to record, filmed a couple music videos, dropped a single, and then I went out with Najee toward the summer, the latter part of the summer for 2021. So it's just kind of moving, continuing to move, and we're carefully, my team, we're carefully moving forward. I have a second album coming out in 2022. There'll be some touring in 2022, and I'm excited because I'll be starting out one of my favorite male artists, who's Peebo Bryson. He'll be here in the Detroit Metropolitan.
Oh, you don't.
And then I'm a special guest for him, so I'm really excited about that. So 2022, we're excited about that. You know, we're just getting our marketing together for the new project. My second album is slamming. I cannot wait till it comes out. My producers are incredible. I have 3 incredible producers on there. And we have Kenny Flay from Queen Latifah's Flavor Unit, who has a song on the album. And Cordell Walton, who has a couple songs on the album. He's currently Charlie Wilson's music director, so he's out on the road with Charlie. He's a great producer. And then Marcus Divine oversaw the entire album, and he just got off the Millennial Tour with Ashanti and Bow Wow and Omarion. So he's my main producer and oversaw the album. So I'm really, really excited for 2022. I'm just waiting for more doors to open, and you know, we're thinking and praying and manifesting and moving forward. So you know, I'm excited, and I'm just excited about carrying my dad's legacy, continuing to move forward in developing, you know, Beth in all that she can be. And and you know, I put out a book, Esther, right?
Oh,
yeah. I put out a children's book in October. So the second children's book will come out in 2022 also. So shameless plug. Here's my book.
Oh, look.
wow.
She's good. She's a good plug.
Bring it forward a bit. Bring it forward a bit.
So we can see
it forward. Bring it forward.
Oh, okay.
Forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, what is that? Hold on.
Yeah,
I gotta do this. I gotta do this.
out.
Hold on. I just gotta do this. Hold on. That's how we feeling about the book, man.
So they had time.
Right. Yeah, put your product up. So, you know, this book is just about anti-bullying and loving yourself and believing in yourself. And it's my story, the process of me, you know, told through beautiful colored insects. But this is my process, me starting out as a background singer and then just being mentored and manifesting that and then turning into a solo artist and walking to my full potential as a solo artist, actress, and an author. So I'm just having a time. I'm having a fun time just being me.
I want a copy.
I will send you a copy.
I want one. I want one for my grandbaby. I want one for my grandbaby. And if you could sign it, that would be nice.
Every copy, absolutely.
Oh, wow.
Roy and Gemini, if you guys can get your address to Esther, and then Esther, I'll have Ron reach out to you, and then he'll send me, you know, the information you can collect from them, and I'll the books to you guys.
Oh wow! I'm gonna read it first before I give it to my granddaughter, and I'm also a new grandmom, so I can give it to the.
Congratulations!
That is really cool. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much. You know, this is brilliant because, you know, everything's expanding for all of us. I mean, Roy, you talk about wanting to travel more and, you know, just to expand what you do already, and the same with Gemini and the same with Beth. And what's really nice is, you know, the creativity is this ever flowing well, isn't it? This ever flowing well, and it never runs dry unless we allow it to run dry. And in that well, it's almost as if it's what's kept, I know for me, it's kept me sane throughout this whole process. You know, that and dancing, because I love to dance. I'm always on the move. I think I've got dance Tourette's, you know. But you know, whatever you all do, it's like I said, it's inspiring others, and I know I keep saying it, and I'm going to keep saying it, but especially through these uncertain times, you know, when they can look at you and think, and when they can look at you guys or look at this conversation and still see yourselves smile. I mean, sometimes in the background we've got stuff going on, but you know, when you energetically are in the environment of others, then energetically we connect with that energy, and it helps to lift us. Because I think I looked like Bagpuss this morning because I didn't sleep well last night. I've been I was mad tired. Then I had to go for a meeting, and I'm trying to get my magazine to the designers because I got this deadline to meet. But then just speaking to you guys have just elevated my spirit. You know, just to keep going and to do what needs to be done, and then I can take a break. So, you know, in winding down, guys and gals, or cats, can I say cats for females as well, Gemini?
Yes.
Oh,
cats and kittens, you know what I'm saying? Cats and the kittens, you know what I'm saying? That's beautiful.
You know, in winding down, Beth, just, you know, for anybody who's got that dream, for anybody who is in a place where they want to move forward, what would you tell them, especially as we're coming to we've got to the end of the year? Well, a lot of us have, some haven't, and we have to just, you know, give honor to those families who are going through.
Yes.
And, you know, just to honor those people who aren't here with us. But what can each and every one of you share that will keep people inspired?
I would just say that you need to make sure that you surround yourself with positive people, especially in times like that encourage you and uplift you. And if you have dreams and aspirations that you want to do, I always tell people, research that and look into it to see what you need to give, and research that and try to be your best person, and then connect and surround yourself around people who are going in that direction where you want to go. And if you have a love for something, true passion, never do it for the money. Do it because you love it, and the money will come. And that sounds cliche, but that's the truth. because if you only look for money and you don't have the experience, you're not going to be able to grow. You have to have the experience to be able to demand the dollars. And that's something that I had to learn. You know, just because you're cute, just because you can sing doesn't mean somebody's going to pay you or pay you your worth. So have the experience behind resume behind you, so that when you ask for the money that you feel you deserve, you can get as close to that as you possibly can. And just don't quit.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Go ahead,
That was
Roy.
like, I
After
was gonna
that,
say the
you
same
don't
thing.
yeah.
You know, continue to follow your dreams and never give up. You know, doesn't matter how old you get. You know what I mean? Just keep on. You know what I mean? Because like, if you don't do it, you'll be saying, "Oh man, I should have did it."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, you've been man. I wish I could have did it. You'd be wishing you had it did it. You know, whatever. Follow that dream. Continue to move forward and don't give up. You know, because the sun will come out tomorrow. You know, just keep working at it, and then you eventually you'll get there. You know, it might take a year, might take 2, might take 3, might take 10, 20, but you know, it'll happen if you keep on. You know, persistence is what really makes it, is the key. You know, and just continue to move forward, you know, and upward, you know what I mean? And like Beth was saying, you know, don't worry about those naysayers and those people who don't really support you, because I mean, maybe, you know, everybody's not going to love you. I always told my kids, you know, my 3 boys, I said, look, everybody's not going to love you.
Yes.
Everybody's not going to agree with what you're doing. They're going to be hating, and whatever, like we say, they're going to be hating, you know what I mean?
Come on,
But you know what I mean? But you know what, keep moving forward, because if you know you're doing something good, you know you're doing something right, then you know God is with you, God is for you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You know, faith, and you know, and just keep moving forward. You know, it's going to be all right. You know, we've went through a lot of tough times, like I said, with this coronavirus and all this going on. And I mean, yeah, it could be very discouraging. You know, I mean, people have lost people. You know, but you know what I mean. Like I said, the sun will come out tomorrow. I mean, you know, it's all, I guess, a part of the purpose and plan. It's a bigger picture behind what we're seeing. You know, for ourselves.
And that's where trust comes in, you know, trusting God or the universe, you know, because people have different beliefs, but that's where the trust comes in, because and
good is good doesn't, you know, let's say my mom used to say, right doesn't wrong nobody. Right doesn't wrong nobody. And you know, I mean, as long as you're doing the right thing, you don't have to worry about it.
Excellent. And Gemini?
I would just leave you with this. This is, and I'm an athlete kind of guy, as a former Marine playing athletes, you know, athlete kind of guy. I always tell people, have no regrets. Leave it all on the field. Leave it all on the court. Leave it all in the studio. Give it all you got. Everything that you can. And then leave nobody no doubt that you gave your best. Leave nobody no doubts. You know, just you do your best. You know, leave no doubt. Because in a moment, just in a twinkling, your time can come.
Yes.
Your time can come. Right. So leave no doubt and leave everything you got on the field.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, ladies and gents, I've just had a really great time. Thank you each for your time. Beth, thank you. Just wishing you all the best. And it's, you know, I love when I've loved speaking to you, because every time I talk to you, you're stepping up. You're stepping up. And thank you for being so honest about, like you keep saying, it's a process. And also, you know what Gemini said, life in a sense, he was saying life is short. It is, because you know, around me, whether they have or haven't facts or not, you know, I'm not going to go there, but people are dying. Okay. And I remember, this brings me back to a conversation many years ago. I lost a younger sister to breast cancer. in 2006, quite a while ago now. And I always remember in the hospital, I would go around and just say hello to others in there. And there was a girl in there, and I knew she wasn't going to make it. But, you know, she'd lived life in this box for so long. And I said to her, what is it that you would love to do? She goes, I would love to go back to my paintings and my drawings. So I got her family to send that stuff in. I think she had a day of it and then she was gone. And things like that are important because it just makes you realize if you can now, do it. And also something else that you, I think it was Beth or maybe it's Roy said, you know, have the right people around you or attract the right people into your space. It's so key. People that you can trust. You know, sometimes I feel like I've got to have my antennae on like this, you know, sometimes you feel you've got to be constantly looking over your shoulder. But even if it's just one or two people, it doesn't matter about the rest. Just have strong people around you who can, because I'm a Sagittarian, so sometimes I need to be reined in, but I've got strong people that can do that. And I'm open to that because I know that they want the best for me and I want to be the best. I want to do better. And so, and that's why I'm sitting talking to you incredible people today, because yes, you are driving your father's legacy forward, but you're doing your own thing, but you're doing it in spite of and despite of, and that in itself is really endearing. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to play out with a snippet from all of your fathers, and just wishing you all the best for 2022. And thank you for joining me on the sofa with Esther on the Sons and Daughters of Legends.
Yes.
Thank you.
Everybody know.
Sorry,
that I'll be doing a concert for my dad, and we'll be celebrating his birthday. So what I'm going to be doing in July, I mean in April, we're going to be doing April 16th. We're going to be doing a concert here in Las Vegas at a nice dinner club, and it's going to be, you know, dedicated to him and those music. We're going to be playing a big band, 16-piece song, all of his original charts, and we're going to be jamming, you know what I mean, and you know, celebrating the Aries and you know.
Send that information to me in Messenger. I love Vegas as well. I love Vegas. You know, I went for the first time a few years ago and people didn't think I would like it because I'm an outdoor girl. I love walking and climbing, all that sort of stuff. But I like the juxtaposition of Vegas, and then you can go out to Red Rock Canyon and walk. So I love that crossover, and then up the road is just that, well, not up the road, but you know, Los LA. So keep me posted. Keep me posted about everything you're doing. And it's been a real pleasure. So what we're going to go now, we're going to go over to listening to a little bit more of some tracks from the fathers of these incredible people. Bye.
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 Doom, doom, doom. Doom, 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 doom. Doom. Come on. Easy. Come on, band. There you go. That's it. Put your hands together. That's it. When your baby leaves you all alone and nobody calls you on the cell phone, don't you feel like crying? Don't you feel like crying? Here I am, honey. Come on, cry to me. And when you're all alone, honey, in your lonely room, and there's nothing but the smell of her perfume. Oh, don't you feel like
the better hold on. Hold on to what you got. You had the better hold on. Hold on to what you got. 'Cause if you think nobody wants it, just throw it away, and you will see someone will have it before you can count. 1, 2, 3. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. Listen, fellas, you know it's not all the time that a man can have a good woman. A woman that he can call his very own. A woman who will stay right there at home and mind the children while he's gone to work. A woman who will have his dinner cooked when he comes home. But where some men make mistakes is when they go out and stay because they feel that no other man wants his woman but him. But listen, if you think no other man wants her, just throw her away, and you will see some man will have her before you can count. 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Uh-oh. She looking for me.
No,
And
no,
I'm
I'm trying to pull something.
Land of broken dreams, I have visions of many things that have been there. It's just an illusion filled with sadness and confusion. What becomes of the broken hearted who had love that's now departed? I know I've got to find some.
My chickadee, come here to me. 2 times your lips. Look out, here comes up. Don't mind the clock. Let's do the rock. Smack me a kiss. Yeah, look out, here comes love. Ooh, every time I feel your touch. Well, I go far when you get to in my clutch. I'm when you kiss you just too much. Well, so I got to shout. You knocked me out. Upset my soul. Got no control. You got me going. Let's turn it on. Look out. Here comes love.
Hey, this is Lenny Williams, and when I'm in London, I visit On the Sofa with Esther.
Hello, this is producer, songwriter, musician, and artist Terrence Thompson, and you're on the Sofa with Esther on LN Sofa.